Ascending forward, message number 33. Prime creator is gravity or ether. Every cell in the human body is connected to every other cell of everything physical and non-physical in the universe. We can experience every other experience throughout the universe because our DNA is connected to all other experiences. Therefore, it is not a matter of connecting with an outside personality and bringing that frequency into the body, mind, and spirit in order to find our way back to Prime Creator. We and everything that exists is already Prime Creator, and we make this connection through our heart to all that is. It is an inner journey that we make to ourself. At a galactic level, everything is Prime Creator. Everything is an idea or thought. Every grain of sand, every speck of dust, all forests, animals, rivers, oceans, and waterfalls are a portal that Prime Creator is experiencing itself through, and this occurs throughout the universe. This includes all animate and inanimate or man-made things. A natural portal can be large or small and generated at any point, anywhere in the universe. When a portal is natural, it is represented as a three-dimensional hole, a sphere, or a toroid, and by entering it, it takes you to another place. A portal is where the frequency of one place is the same or similar in frequency to another place, because they are a frequency match, and the two places are connected at these portal points. As it is a hole that is connecting them, you can jump from one portal to another portal. In other words, all portals are a doorway to a frequency-matched destination, and that doorway works in both directions. When entering a natural portal, the other side will be similar in its frequency harmonics. It will have the same mathematical factors, and so it will be a similar place. For example, if you enter a portal at a beach, you will exit at another beach in another density or on another planet. It will be beaches, water, and a similar temperature that you encounter. It will not be somewhere in deep, dark, or hostile space. It can be anywhere, as long as the frequency harmonics are compatible or similar. All of the natural portals are cyclic. They can appear, disappear, and then reappear. Or sometimes they never open again, and so entering one, you may never return. The mathematical frequency harmonics of the location of a portal, however, tends to repeat itself exactly in periodic time. This is why it is known by some civilizations when and where a portal will appear. The indigenous Americans knew about cyclic natural portals because it is just energy in an infinite mathematical dance. You can also create a powerful artificial portal with technology. This is what a jump room is, and one of the reasons why the pyramids were constructed in Giza. A portal can also be crafted with the mind, so if someone creates them, they are artificial portals. A portal is also called a toroid. A toroidal energy can be viewed as a sphere rotating on an axis with energy flowing from one pole around the sphere and entering at the other pole. So a toroid is self-energizing. Every structure is a toroid, from subatomic particles right up to a collection of galaxies. Everything in the universe is toroidal, and every toroid is being fed by a higher toroid. and where the toroids are connected together, that is a portal. All portals are part of the larger toroid that is fed by an even larger toroid. In other words, above each toroid is another toroid feeding it with energy, or the conscious attention awareness of Prime Creator. Toroidal energy is the consciousness of Prime Creator. Even in the vast expanses of what you would call outer space, Prime Creator energy, or 0 point energy, is available. It is infinite energy, and it is available everywhere. 0 point energy is when you are tapping into the energy of Prime Creator that sustains and maintains everything. It is a vast force or energy, and we call it here on Earth gravity. Therefore, Prime Creator's thought is gravity. Every place has major energy concentration nodes in the form of chakras and energy centers. On Earth, they are specific points all over the surface of the Earth. Giza Plateau, for example, is where these nodes correspond to gravitational flow on the planet. The Bermuda Triangle is a strong energetic node on Earth, and there is a submerged pyramid there also. The pyramid concentrates the energy into a point or node, a 0 point. A density is a set of agreements that create a limited array of frequencies. With 2 or more people, you can create a density, remembering that a density is just a range of agreed-upon frequencies. For example, the Earth today is 3D because of the agreements that have been created and that are in the belief system of the majority of Earth's inhabitants. It is not that the inhabitants of, say, Earth come together for a meeting and decide upon the agreements or frequency of the planet. Rather, these agreements are formulated because the expectations of the inhabitants are similar. If 51% of 7 billion people agree on something, then that will be the predominant frequency. On Earth today, these agreements are controlled by the lunar frequency. Therefore, without even understanding what humans are agreeing to, they are born into and are a part of those agreements, and these include, for example, aging, linear time, and all of the mind control from education systems, religions, and different societies and cultures that make up 3D Earth. This definition of densities occurs on all planets. All of the agreements will be different on each respective planet, depending upon the density of those planets. Densities, therefore, are not real. There really are no densities. There is just conscious attention awareness that is focused on a particular point. All biological life is an idea that is held in the ether. The ether is no location, no time. It is just a set of frequencies. It is an ocean of consciousness, or Prime Creator. Therefore, Prime Creator is consciousness that is held in the ether. Everything is ether, including the material physical world. The closest manifestation of ether that can be experienced in the physical world is water. Even what Earth scientists call the vacuum of outer space is high-frequency water with complex frequencies of consciousness. It is not an empty space. Therefore, ether, which is Prime Creator, manifests these frequencies in the material world as water. Everything is an idea or thought, and that is what ether is. Ether is a complex soup of ideas and thoughts. This is also called gravity. Gravity is a progression of ideas for Prime Creator to experience itself through. Gravity is ether, so gravity is Prime Creator. The force of gravity that Newtonian science on Earth speaks about is the wrong way around. Newtonian science says that the larger the mass, the larger the gravity. In other words, the mass creates gravity. Gravity is not created by the size or mass, or the movement of a heavenly body in relationship to its surrounding environment, that is also influenced by the mass or size of other heavenly bodies. Gravity is the temporal flow of creative ideas or thoughts of the original Prime Creator, made manifest in the physical world, or in a world where there is time, which humans call the material world. As stated above, gravity is the consciousness of the non-physical realms. What we are sharing here is that gravity is the concentrated, conscious attention awareness of Prime Creator focused in a portal or node, and that creates a larger mass in the material world. In other words, thoughts create mass. Prime Creator's thought is the flow of gravity. All places in the material world, be it on Earth or another planet, moon, solar system, or galaxy, are immersed in a soup of potential energy. When the consciousness of an observer, either in isolation or with other consciousnesses, concentrates gravitational flow towards a particular place, an object is then formed. This is called object reality. Therefore, matter is the interpretation of a particular consciousness. When a consciousness has knowledge of its own existence, it creates time, and thereby animates the potential energy field, creating matter, and then giving it value and meaning. Therefore, the only thing that exists is gravity. As mentioned above, ether is the consciousness of the Creator, of all that is. Every living form, every person's consciousness, is not only a part of the ether, it is the ether itself. It is a holographic piece of the potential energy field, or the whole, and although it is a fragment of a whole, it retains all of the attributes and power of the whole. Every holographic piece of the whole, or the ether, has the same power as the whole, and is the whole itself. Everything in the ether is in the form of wave patterns within the potential energy field, or the whole. When a wave is given a specific time rate in a mathematically perfect way by the consciousness of the observer, this is called the harmonics of a frequency. When the harmonics of a frequency has enough conscious intention directed towards it by the observer, it will form standing waves. Therefore, the frequency of a wave is defined by and is the result of the consciousness of the observer. Everything is a wave, and where waves intercept or form standing waves, they form points or nodes. A node is where the concentration of energy from the observer does not reabsorb back into the potential energy field. Instead, The harmonics of the frequency constantly feed that specific point or node with energy at a very specific rate, keeping it ever present and continuously energized. This is also where there will be a natural portal, for example, suns. With enough added complexity, this node will form hard matter, and depending upon the harmonics of the frequency, that matter will form an object. However, its existence will always depend upon the harmonics of the frequency that are given to it by its creator, being the consciousness of the observer. In other words, when the observer places their focused attention awareness onto a specific thought as the result of a creative imaginative process, an object is formed. The harmonics of a frequency also depends upon a time rate. Time is the result of the focused attention awareness of the observer as it animates its ideas, giving them sequences. Or, time is the rate at which the awareness of the observer sequences its ideas. In other words, time is relative to the frequency of thought. A density, therefore, is the result of the capacity of perception of the consciousness of the observer, the rate at which it can process data, and the rate that it can create the harmonics of a frequency. All matter depends upon and exists within the awareness of the consciousness of the observer. The consciousness of the observer cannot perceive anything that is a higher rate of frequency than itself. The consciousness of the observer will determine which density of existence the observer can perceive. A higher rate means that the consciousness of the observer can create a faster and more complex harmonics of frequency within a potential energy field. In other words, they can create a faster or more complex timeline. The more complex the harmonics of the frequency, or the greater the complexity of focused attention awareness of the observer, the quicker the object will manifest. This is called the velocity of consciousness. Therefore, the higher the harmonics of the frequency, the quicker the observer can create. If the frequency is low, however, there is a lag. Remember, a human being in this biological avatar is only aware of their focused attention awareness in that avatar. The same soul or frequency is also experiencing their focused attention awareness in the other versions of themselves in higher densities. A soul is a 12D being and has stepped its frequency down so that the soul can inhabit all of the frequencies below 12D. A soul is 3D, 4D, 5D, and so on, and all of these frequencies are having an experience, and all of these experiences are happening simultaneously. All densities are unaware of the densities above them, however they are aware of the densities that are below them. Therefore, the 5D frequency consciousness, for example, can read all of the densities below it. However, the 5D consciousness being cannot be read by the densities below it. 3D is the lowest density that you can go. If you have a negative thought, it could be days, weeks, months, or years before you create that thought. However, in 5D, that thought manifests itself instantaneously. That is why humanity needs to be a frequency match for the new 5D Earth before they can inhabit the new 5D Earth. there is a great responsibility that needs to be accompanied with thought. It is from this higher awareness that we come to know that the only thing that seems real in this reality is you and the focus of your conscious attention awareness. Everything that you have placed into this reality is of your choosing to make it more real, to experience contrast. In essence, the only thing that is actually real is your soul observing you. Everything else is a construct through the focused attention awareness of your soul. Everything only exists because of consciousness, and if that consciousness was not focused on something, it would not exist. Now you can see why it is very important to understand that all thoughts create. So where are you going to place your incredible manifesting thought? You are Prime Creator itself. You are a portal of focused attention awareness of the original Prime Creator. In light of the above, there are really no densities. There are really no souls. Everything is the thought of the original Prime Creator made manifest by focused attention awareness or gravity. Sharing greater knowledge of how our universe actually works is how we raise our frequency, because we are expanding our understanding. These concepts can also be applied to interstellar travel that is achieved by quantum computers. The quantum computer finds the frequency of the location of the destination, so the map is a frequency, and then the ship and its contents are transported there. There is no travel. To travel through time is a 3D idea. Therefore, the quantum computers read everything as energy, not as matter, because every experience, everything in the universe has a unique frequency, and traveling is just about traveling from one frequency range to another frequency range. A frequency map is a numerical interpretation of the interaction between waves within the potential energy field, or the ether, and this can be an object, a location, or an event. Essentially, this is a map of the ether, and we call it an etheric map. This object, location, or event can be in any context, otherwise known as the destination, that is past, present, or future, as they are all mathematically constructed frequency harmonics. In essence, there is no past, present, or future. There are only frequency harmonics within a potential energy field, and therefore they are reproducible. As described above, all that must be done is to reproduce the exact same frequency harmonic of the situation to be reproduced. We will call this the destination, and you will be there. The more complex the context, the more detail that is required. This also describes how each person, place, or thing is giving off a specific frequency that is theirs, and this means that you can easily be located through your personal frequency. This is the mechanics of manifestation, and it is a universal principle that applies to everything in this universe. It is how our thoughts create. We are creating in the same way that Prime Creator is creating, because we are Prime Creator. Therefore, the way that the quantum computers on a starship use a frequency map can also be applied to any person or being. When enough focused attention awareness is given to a specific thought process, the resulting frequency harmonics of the observer will automatically match the frequency of the perceived object or situation that the observer is thinking about. This is called the law of mirrors, and it governs the universe. In other words, when you match that frequency, you become that frequency, and you are attracted to or pulled together with that frequency. Equal frequencies attract each other because they are the same ones. They are one and the same. So the thought frequency equals the thing or the situation in the individual's mind, and this equals the perceived external object and or situation, because there are no external objects or situations as such. They are all inside the same potential energy field and share the same frequency harmonics. They are the very same thought patterns of the observer and the collective consciousness awareness creating it all. Thought is the object and thought is the situation. There is no difference. There is no external world to you, as it is you who has it all in your mind. You are making it all, both collectively and individually, and you call it the law of attraction. Humanity needs to be a frequency match for their higher selves if they want to experience their higher selves. The higher the frequency, the more a human being can process information, and the more that individual can create. As an individual increases their understandings, they can relocate themselves, including their physical body, anywhere in the universe. When we imagine and hold the highest idea of who we are, and the highest idea of the earth that we wish to reside upon, we can create it, and that is because all thoughts create. Tiwana, Tawa, Tiawa.